But now,
There are a
Boy.
now it's
Oh boy.
now it's time for discourse. So, hey, we want to like go to the bathroom or get a snack or some shit, ready to participate in some Sonic arguments, because that's what's gonna happen here.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be a long ride, and I may pause many times during this video to complain about this. If this is the video that I was talking about
Got the
before.
Jack Daniels. Oh boy.
Oh. Oh man. Alrighty.
Here we go.
Let's go.
There are a lot of Sonic games that are hated by critics and fans. Some of these games, quite honestly, does deserve the hate that it gets, but there's
Yeah, you know what? Eat shit for putting these two games next to each other. What is your fucking problem, boy? What do you really think is so bad about this? I'm sorry. I've played so many of those things, and fucking Secret Rings. If it's anything like, why?
Don't even, look. They're
What
not
a
even
baby
in the
already. 9 seconds in. Let's go.
there's a lot of games that
Wait,
are being
they're not even in the
wrongfully
same
bashed. The
ballpark.
greatest example of this would be Sonic Unleashed. This game was rated negatively at the time of being released and became a meme in the gaming industry for stupid decisions like including the WEREHOG.
So you mean that, this game got memed just like Sonic 4 got memed, but sure, whatever.
This game is actually still being debated today in the Sonic community on if the game is bad or not. Me personally, I think the game is great. So great even, that it's actually my favorite Sonic game. Now yes, you obviously don't have to agree with anything that I say in this video. Just stick around
And
to
we
see what I
won't.
have to say about the game. So make sure to sit back, relax, get yourself a drink, make yourself comfortable, because we're gonna start talking about the game.
By the
We're
way,
starting
I
with
have
the
no problem with
story.
this being anybody's favorite game. That's not a problem.
Sonic Unleashed's story is the best story in the entire series in my opinion.
I
Jesus,
disagree.
Jesus motherfucking Christ. That's all I have to say about that.
It has the best presentation, the least plot holes, and the best interactions of characters.
The least plot holes. Why do Sonic's arms stretch like that, okay? What does that have to do with being a wolf hybrid monster?
Something
Why?
that actually
Why
makes
is
this
there a
game lot
creature
different from other games
within
is that you
the
start
planet?
Oh.
Why are there shrines for the Emerald Pacific shrines in specific countries and
the game
in
knowing that
specific
Eggman
parts
is
of the
already
planet?
Oh no.
succeed in his evil plan. You know, let's just talk about the opening cutscene because that pretty much explains everything. The game opens up with Sonic running on Eggman's ship, completely destroying everything that is in his path. Eggman then grabs Sonic, but that's when Sonic is revealed to have all 7 Chaos Emeralds that can help him transform into Super Sonic. That's when Sonic finally puts a stop to Eggman's plans. But that's when Eggman traps Sonic, causing him to turn into the creature we know today as the Werehog. At last, Eggman then initiates his plan again and shatters the entirety of planet Earth. Sonic is astonished as Eggman drops him out of the ship. The final shot is Sonic stuck as the Werehog while falling from the sky with the lifeless Chaos Emeralds surrounding him.
Dramatic.
Right away, this 6-minute cutscene was able to show exactly everything you need to know to understand the story. In fact, this cutscene is so good that you could have never even played a Sonic game before, and you would know everything about these characters. This cutscene...
Okay, this guy's giving it a little too much credit because it's kind of a fucking short film with an ending that, when Shadow fell to Earth, he fucking died. I guess transforming into that allowed Sonic to live. What did he say about plot holes?
That's the thing. Man, it's like, listen, I feel like Unleashed started the whole thing of Sonic falling flat on his fucking face and surviving. But my God, it's like, listen.
Stop
I
eating
think
the
that-
mic? I'll never stop eating the mic. I'm hungry.
Hey, mics are tasty, but come on, they're expensive too. So, but I don't know, man. It's Sonic has been known for incredible feats. Look at the fucking look at fucking Sonic Adventure 2 and how it starts. Spiraling into the city with part of the fucking helicopter. How did he not break his knees and shit? And I think that's the main issue here. I think that there's just a lot going on that kind of doesn't make any sense. Okay, so the Earth got destroyed into chunks, but how is most of the people are fucking clueless about it? They should be fucking panicking. In fact, aspects of it, no one should be alive.
Look, yeah, they shouldn't be alive. All that, the plot hole my ass, the Earth should be destroyed. There should be nothing to go back to. Sonic should be bouncing off of asteroids to find the Chaos Emeralds in space, okay? But here we are. Plot hole's my ass. Let's continue.
To be honest, is already praised, but I think it should be praised more. This one cutscene that was 6 minutes was able to establish Sonic as a character by showing his power and his ability to be fast, as well as it also showed his cocky and confident attitude. Not to mention, it also shows Eggman and what his motives are to destroy the Earth.
Oh my god, it's just a
which is to
basic
build
introduction,
Eggman.
please.
Need to harness its power. Eggman Land will finally
All
come
of that
to
is what
be.
it's supposed to do.
By the end of the scene, you see the Earth be destroyed, and now you already know the goal and the plot of the story is going to be. How many TV shows and movies can get all that established in a single 6-minute cutscene? Not.
Oh my god, he has watched very little media in his fucking life to ask that question. How do I know what's going on? Look, I don't like Star Wars, but Star Wars did the simple thing of like, look at little thing running away from big thing, and you know who the bad guys are. And then they're like, I want that thing. And that's in like the first like 3 minutes of the movie. How many can you say? Actually, a lot of competent shows and pieces of media do this. So again, this guy lives in a very fucking... This will age poorly if he has any self-awareness.
Only a single 6-minute cutscene, the opening cutscene. This is actually one of the best pieces of art ever made, whether you like the game or not.
The opening
Rivals
cutscene
TV and
being an
movie standards,
introduction.
which is absolutely
Good work,
crazy to
guys.
me. Anyways, enough about that. After this cutscene, the story picks up with Sonic finding a little friend who goes by, well, nothing. He doesn't really remember his name. However, like the good, kind-hearted character that Sonic is, he promises to bring him along for the journey. Sonic takes this friend of his to a nearby town. The objective is for Sonic to find out his friend's name, but since, of course, the world is split into multiple pieces, finding his friend's name should be at the bottom of the
one of the
priority
best
list. So
pieces of
Sonic
art
just
that has
gives
been
him
made.
the name Chip. This is because Chip really likes the chocolate chip sundae that he ate. After the first night, Sonic and Chip run into Tails, who informs them that a man named Professor Pickle may know how to fix the planet. And since Sonic is, you know, well, Sonic, he and Chip go to confront.
Okay, speaking of which, I'm glad to know that one specific abstract professor that we have never heard of before has enough knowledge and potential resources to be able to fix a fucking planet that Robotnik happens to fucking capture because he knows about him and is on the radar suddenly. And this fucking dreary fucking character with a stupid fucking gimmick, just why? Why does day and night work? Fuck, man, fuck.
The professor.
Don't forget that the moon is still blown up.
When it's revealed that you can restore different parts of the Earth by taking all 7 Chaos Emeralds to the 7 Gaia temples in the world. So the rest of the story pretty much takes itself from there. Sonic and Chip sail on a journey to bring the 7 Chaos Emeralds to the 7 Gaia temples so they can repair the planet Earth. However, at the last Gaia temple, Chip finds out that he's actually like Gaia, and it's his job to protect the world from Dark Gaia. This sets forth...
You know, the pacing of explaining the story of this video makes this really fucking not captivating. Because he jumps from point A to Z in like 30 fucking seconds. He lays out the premise, doesn't actually tell me any beats. He goes right to the fucking end of one of the biggest fucking, like, twists of the entire story. And you're going to tell me that this is one of the best stories when you can't say anything between the Earth blows up, Sonic gets introduced, the Earth blows up, there's a professor named Pickle, and then you turn out he's a god. Like you find out he's a god. Like, really? This is like the best fucking story in the series? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Not to mention that they travel through the airplane. People should be freaking out. People should be falling off the Earth. Never mind that. There should be nothing left. There should be nothing left.
There should be.
The Earth The Earth blowing up like that into chunks doesn't. No possible way anyone would survive that. Okay, and especially there shouldn't be any night or daytime cycles after all of that. Especially since the moon is partially blown up.
Yeah, so it's fucking nonsense. Anyway, continuing.
The final leg of the journey. Sonic and Chip head to Eggman Land and restore the final piece of the Earth. However, now they must fight Dark Gaia. After an absolutely beautiful and amazing supersonic...
I hate this fight. I fucking hate it. Fuck you. They had done it better. It looks flashy on screen. I guarantee you, it feels like ass to play. It feels fucking terrible to play.
boss fight, Dark Gaia is defeated, and Chip kinda dies. I mean, he's still technically alive, but he is just restored to not being awakened again until Dark Gaia is. So basically, in a nutshell, he's gonna be in a coma for the next 200 million years. This story knows exactly what it wants to be, and it does it very well. It's not cringy, it's not so bad that...
It's not cringy? Are you you are out of your fucking rabbit ass mind, because it is... I hate Chip because he is the fucking cringe. That is the cringe fairy. It has cringe dust. That is what he spreads across the land. That is what he carries with him. That is what he delivers to the people that come near him. Are you fucking... You get out of here.
It's hilarious, and it's not too edgy. It's perfect. Which is also another thing. I'm sorry guys, but Sonic's target demographic is for children, so the story needs to fit within those guidelines. Of course this doesn't...
Shut the fuck up. It's a Sonic game.
It's for everyone, not for fucking children alone.
Yeah.
I hate that fucking... Oh my god. That's so fucking stupid. When people use that, they make themselves look really retarded. Come on, man. You're saying that children are stupid? They can't handle fucking mature stories of any kind?
Yeah, you see here, Chad is saying that, look at Majora's Mask. So you're telling me that, yeah, that shouldn't have been made for kids. Ooh, that's not a kid's game. Oh, like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this is a weak... It has way too many likes. I am only one of 112 people that gave this video a thumbs down, compared to the 5.1k fucking people that liked it. All of those people, I will fight, and I will destroy them.
To mean that only kids should be able to love a story. That is something the current writers need to understand. There's many stories targeted for kids that people from all ages can enjoy, and I believe this game's story is the most perfect way to pull that off. I'm tired of all the one-note writing that the recent games have had. None of the characters have issues. The only issues they have now is stopping Eggman whatever he's doing now. In Sonic Unleashing games before that, the characters actually had thoughts. You could tackle dark topics and insecurities that the characters have without turning it into a rated M game. Believe
Rated M game. This guy is soft as fuck. Are you kidding me?
Even Shadow the Hedgehog wasn't fucking rated M. What are you getting at?
Yeah, what is he? What the fuck is turning it into a rated M game? There's
And
never...
I thought you were talking about not being too edgy. So many fucking people consider Sonic Adventure 2 a little edgy. What is edgy to you? Edgy is meaningless. Edgy is a word that means nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
Anything could be fucking anything slightly dark or tackles a mature subject matter can be edgy. The fuck are you trying to get to?
What is edgy about Adventure 2? The fact that there are stakes and that people can die and that characters' lives are on the line. And that there's this whole thing where there's like a dead girl and a dead man that was Robotnik's grandfather. And this revenge against the government because of what they did. And all this other stuff, which is pretty fucking mature. Because, you know, that's the kind of stuff that, yeah, typically is not in, like, kids' media. But again, it's not just for kids, it's for everybody. And these kind of themes have shown up in children's media before and since. And it's been done badly, it's been done well. And I don't like the fact that this guy Talks about how, like, oh, the story is what it needed to be, and then goes on to praise the complexity of Sonic Adventure 2, but then kind of like bashes other games for trying to get serious, which were really not much more serious than Adventure 2 ever did get.
Fucking Sonic 3 and Knuckles is serious.
Yeah, so get the fuck out of here, man. Let's continue.
Me. I love stories that can tackle dark topics that are rated for more mature audiences, but something I love so much that is missing most cartoons and movies today is that these stories don't have to deal with mature content to tell a meaningful and dark story. One way to make a meaningful scene is actually
What the fuck are you
favorite.
talking about?
How do you avoid telling a mature story without getting into the themes that make them mature, which apparently makes them dark? But something being mature isn't dark? But dark is mature? What are your standards here? This makes no sense.
We're only 5 minutes in. Holy fucking shit. You're right, Paladin. You're right.
Let's go.
Cutscene in this game. In this cutscene, Sonic and Chip's journey is almost over. They reflect on the journey as they watch the sunset with some really touching music. The conversation ends with Chip thinking that he has to save the world alone, but that is when Sonic tells him that he isn't alone. Now yes, this is a very cheesy moral of the story that's been done a million times, but they actually made it look very good this time. It's not like future games where through the power of friendship we can save the world. In this
No. That's exactly what it is. They did it here. They did it in Forces. They keep doing it. It is the same schlock. You're giving it way too much credit, and I don't know why.
This game actually works because Sonic and Chip are actually friends.
They're not friends. They're bound by stupid circumstances.
There's no Sonic and Rookie situation. We know why they're friends and their bond carries weight in the story because we've been seeing it get built up for the entire story. So now, when the power of friendship lesson is shown, it's not cringy, stupid, and pointless. Also, this scene proves something else. One of the main criticisms of this game is that the WEREHOG has no impact on the story, which is not completely untrue because it wasn't necessary for the WEREHOG to be in the story, but the WEREHOG being in the story makes it even better. For example, in the scene that we're talking about, Sonic asks Chip if he's the reason why his WEREHOG form isn't evil. Chip says no, and that Sonic isn't evil because Sonic is just a great role model of a person who never gives up on saving the world. This scene kind of proves that Sonic is incorruptible. That means Sonic has been infected with Dark Gaia power, but still isn't evil because of Sonic's great power of integrity.
Thank you for flattening Sonic into somebody completely interesting. He's always good, no matter what. He can't make any fucking mistakes. What a fascinating story for children. It's...
What's he saying?
What's
We don't fucking know! This is why we wanted to show this fucking video. It's so goddamn confusing!
Yep.
If we didn't have the WEREHOG in this story, we wouldn't have known of this beautiful scene.
Oh.
It shows how good of a role model Sonic is and how he is a symbol of hope.
I can't.
Fucking Superman now?
I know I keep stopping, but Tails is the very example of this. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That like, oh, this shows how much of a role model he is. Tails is with him throughout, like, since the second installment. You know, he's always saving people. How much do you really want to prove that Sonic is this really swell guy that does the best he can for everybody? Like, shit, man. Just don't, there's no need to point that out at all. Sonic Unleashed was so complex. Falsely called Sonic a Mary Sue. Yeah, incorruptible. Like, that's a huge loaded statement to make about Sonic. You know, and then who the fuck cares then? He'll always be good. Jesus Christ. Very complex.
What a great role model.
Very
Ooh,
complex,
cool.
very mature. Hey, if there's anything about role models that is really healthy, is to know that they're absolutely perfect and infallible and can never fail. Role models like that have never fucked anybody up.
That about wraps up everything about the story, so now it's time to talk about world
What a
building.
shitty story. Oh no. Yeah, world building. Get it? Because it's broken.
Okay, everything is opinion-based in this video, but you cannot deny that this game has the most world building out of any Sonic game. I mean, this game was literally built on the idea of world building, so it'd be stupid to claim otherwise. And while being built on the idea of world building, it actually achieves the world building very well. There are actually multiple unique hub worlds that you can explore. These hub worlds take place in different parts of the world, so that means the culture is gonna be a lot different in these locations. Honestly, that's good. We're teaching stuff about other cultures to the youth.
But you're not. You're not teaching them anything. Only the people that understand what those are mimicking will know anything about why anything is anything. But if you want to point to the ignorance of children and say that this is educating them on something, they won't know until they're told about the real-life example. So shut your fucking mouth.
In this game, you're pretty much exploring the world. You could call it a world adventure. Actually, let's talk about that for a second. Now, if you're an absolute intellectual, one of the very few kinds in this world that has a grip understanding of the perplexing genre of media we know today as Sonic the Hedgehog lore, you would know that Sonic Unleashed was original, as well as you can join.
No, Word, what the fuck did you do?
My mistake. I was trying to fucking... What the hell happened to the video? Excuse me, everyone. Can you please load? Does this video...
Exploring the world. You could call it a world adventure.
There we go.
Actually,
apologies.
Let's talk about that for a second. Now, if you're an absolute intellectual, one of the very few kinds in this world that has a grip understanding of the perplexing genre of media we know
hear
today
this
as
line
Sonic
again.
the Hedgehog lore, you would know that Sonic Unleashed was originally supposed to be the sequel to the Adventure series, also known as Sonic Adventure 3. The game is even still known as Sonic World Adventure in Japan, and yes, I do think that this game has lived up to the previous titles enough to be called Sonic Adventure 3. I still love...
No. No.
It's nothing like those fucking games. What
No.
the fuck are you talking about? I don't care if it's called Sonic World Adventure in Japan.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. It had no... It had nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you
Now what happens?
If you wanted to say that a game matches adventure, where are the little like flourishes that you could appreciate? Where's the Chow Garden? Where's like the kart racing? Where's the little where are the little nooks that you can actually explore? You know, like an adventure. And fucking find shit that doesn't let you do that. The gameplay is nothing like it.
Dude, he's making a big deal out of these NPCs and shit. Like, have you played Sonic Adventure 1? We were just talking about that like hours ago.
Yeah.
About how every NPC had their own little storylines and
Paladin Knight says hub worlds with puzzles. This doesn't have any of that. Nothing means anything. Like calling Star Fox Adventures a Star Fox game or Super Paper Mario a Paper Mario game because it's the series logo. Oh wait, fuck yeah, that's what it is. Like get the fuck out of here. Oh, is this Sonic World Adventure Japan? So I think it lives up to it. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go on.
The idea of the game being called Sonic World Adventure so much more. It just sounds like a good title for this game because you actually do what the title tells you to do. Also, the game case just looks a million times better. I mean, like, wow. Can I even get this on a poster anywhere? The thing about this game is that there are so many reoccurring details in this game that I love a lot. For example, the hot dog guy, he's pretty much everywhere. He's in every part of the world for you to talk to. Of course, you can do missions for him if you want to get breezy dogs for more XP. Another thing that you can do in this game is buy different foods at different places around the world. Mind you, it's best for you to stick to chili dogs, but you still have the option for these different foods, which is very cool. You can also find collectibles that are actually exclusive to specific places around the world.
Ooh, exclusive things depending on the region, something that very few games ever do. You can find a thing here that you can't find anywhere else. Fucking captivating.
This is great because it gives you more incentive to explore different parts of the world in the game that is actually called Sonic World Adventure, in Japan at least. Another weird thing about this game is all the obsession over food in this game. You see Eggman with a sandwich, you see a professor criticizing a sandwich for some reason. Some people think the sandwich scene is stupid, but I find it to be awesome. We have such a nice story, and then we have one random scene where a highly educated professor gives a review of a sandwich.
Look at how seriously he took that character. He's like, this is a silly game that's fun. And then there's a character who is supposed to be serious, but then he's not. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. And with this kind of tone, I would have never expected this. How funny. How clever.
quirky! Oh my god!
How quirky. It is like the quirkiest thing in the game. Nobody else is quirky.
You can't beat that, alright? Sonic
You
Force
can
is
beat
what
it.
you got on that. Honestly, as
Sonic Forces has Knuckles as commander. Fuck you.
weird as that is, I like it. It gives the game personality, and it makes the world feel so much more alive. However, there is a criticism of this game that almost everyone has brought up, and it's that no NPC cares that the world is ending. Which is very true, and after all, I do need to criticize this, or I'd be a hypocrite for the Sonic Forces video that I made. So yes, the NPCs not caring is a little stupid. Thankfully, it's an optional part of the world and story to talk to them. Even with that, I still think it's worth your time talking to the humans because
Wait, if oh my god, if they're optional, then what's the point? It doesn't build to the world if it's optional.
Yeah, it doesn't build to the world. And when you do decide to talk to them, you notice that it's completely disconnected from the events because nobody fucking cares. So, you want me to disregard that because it's optional. Nice. Very fucking nice.
all have unique dialogue. But that's about it. The world building in this game is way past cool. But now it's time to jump into the soundtrack of the game.
Oh. By the way, this is probably the only part of the soundtrack this is part of the only thing that I could have anything good to say about. Like, you know, it's got a very good soundtrack. Yes, it does. I unironically like the fucking theme of the game. But yeah, just fuck.
Yeah, we did talk about fucking SA1 and its NPCs. In fact, the SA1 and NPCs actually comment about the events that happen in that game.
Yeah, as the story moves along, they have new stuff that either they say something new or they talk about stuff that they have obviously been able to see. So, come on, man. There's no excuse. Fuck off.
The soundtrack of this game is the best soundtrack in the entire series, in my opinion. Of
Your
course, you
opinion
may
is weak.
disagree, so just like the Sonic Forces video, go into this knowing that your opinion may be different.
Shut the
Anyways,
fuck
I
up.
love how the soundtrack sounds and when and where the soundtrack is utilized. For example, in the daytime stages, the soundtrack is very fast. It makes you really want to go fast. The adrenaline that you get from going high speeds with the soundtrack going to town in the background is an experience you can't find anywhere else.
I mean, at least he picked the best example, right?
However, once you reach the WEREHOG stages, the soundtrack is slowed down, with a little bit of an in-your-face attitude with the track.
I'd like to say that it's almost as if he discovered that when artists are creating music and imagery for an experience, they do their best to emphasize or match an ambience or a tone or a mood. This is what they do. Whether they do it well or not is the question. This guy is pretty much like they do it at the right time because they need to. The biggest criticism that come to media is when they're not used at the appropriate time. So, again, this is supposed to be par for the course, but this guy is just like, they time things and they like make the appropriate mood. Yeah, sorry, it's expected. It's not that special. If they do it well or not, that's the question.
There are so many good songs in this game. I would be a madman to mention them all. However, there are a few tracks that I want to mention. For example, the Hub Worlds have some of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard.
Really? I thought the fucking level select for fucking Sonic Colors was better than this. But okay, that's his opinion, you know. At least he made it very clear that it's his opinion.
Yeah, but he is trying to convince us at the same time, so I am taking issue.
I also gotta mention 2 more songs, one from the WEREHOG stage and one from the daytime stage. Here it is.
I do like Jungle Joyride a lot, though.
Yes, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Another track that we have to talk about that the game hypes up, which is also the transition music in this video, is Endless Possibilities. When I first heard this track, I didn't really get as much enjoyment as I did out Live and Learn or Open Your Heart. However, once I played through Unleash and the final cutscene began with this song playing, it was like Christmas, man.
Christmas is here.
Nothing can beat that special moment that I had with the game.
I can
I'm
taste
glad
the
that they didn't
eggnog.
use the lyrical version during the final boss fight, because this song was just so much more impactful when using the credits. This song became a lot better just knowing the journey that this game brought along with it. However, I would still say Live and Learn and Open Your Heart are still better songs alone, because, I mean, like, it's a very high bar to beat, alright? Those songs are...
Okay, here's where I'm going to have to make a nuanced point about this. Live and Learn and Open Your Heart are kind of made with the idea of Sonic in mind, and this one's a little more like... And this song was written more for the effect of like a much more vague idea where it's just like, jump into this thing, it can be anyone. And that's where the charm comes from. You know, otherwise I have very few people who have ever come up to me and been like, oh man, what was that song? Oh, Live and Learn, I've never heard it before. But people like will hear this song and they'll be like, oh, what's that? Because they're two different kinds of music, and I kind of don't like comparing them on the idea that, you know...
It just
Yeah.
feels like generic inspiration music.
Kind of does.
Sometimes.
Yeah, kind of does. I like it, but I know what it is. By the way, Epic Games for you, look up Sonic Rush Adventure boss theme, that's all. Yeah, we'll do that later. He's epic. He's Epic Ben, and I'm Angry Knuckles.
They're great. It's no secret. This game has some very well put together soundtracks, but now it's time to get into the meat of the video. We need to talk about the modern Sonic gameplay.
And Sonic looks like he's real pissed.
You can't lie. Modern Sonic is everyone's favorite part of this game. And it's very clear for as to why. This gameplay is some of the best gameplay in the entire series. This is the first time in the series that the boosting gameplay was introduced.
It was
and a
better
lot
in
of people loved
Generations.
it. Not a lot of people like the WEREHOG stages.
It
but
was
we'll get to
definitely
that
better
later.
in Generations.
Modern Sonic's gameplay in this game is an absolute gem of the gaming industry. There are very few games that can give you this much adrenaline and make you feel this powerful. Anyways, when
you
you're
are
playing
for
Modern
you.
Sonic, you have to run through a stage, collecting rings, destroying badniks, doing cool tricks, while trying to complete the stage in the fastest amount of time. Except in this boosting title, it actually takes a little bit more skill to get an S rank. More about that later.
What do you mean it takes more skill to get an S rank? This guy is on crack. No, he's on heroin because he can't think fast enough to actually process the things he's about to say. He has no filter.
Listen, if we're gonna talk about S ranks, I think the hardest ranks to get were in Sonic Adventure 2.
Yes, they
That
were.
fucking took skill. Everything after that, easy peasy.
Uh-huh. They got way more relaxed.
In fact, Sonic Unleashed had some bullshit fucking requirements for some of these fucking things.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to the WEREHOG.
No, listen. I'm also gonna point this out. Yes, the WEREHOG sections. I would like to remind all of you that just beating the time under par is almost guaranteed to give you an S rank. Do you know that it was like, oh, beat Eggman Land in under 1 hour? I saw that time, and my brain had so many emotions, few of them good. And then I beat that level in about 42 or 45 minutes, in that range, 40 to 45 minutes, and I got an S rank. I didn't really do shit other than not die. Very skillful. Let me see. I think that means more skill in generations and forces. Still the video. Still that's also because Unleashed HD runs like shit half the time. Also, what's the hardest ones to S rank again? I heard 06. 06 is a mix of shit because Sonic 2006 has some level. Okay, like one level I could never S rank was Kingdom Valley Shadow.
Oh God.
I kept dying in this one place and I never figured out how the fuck to get by it, even though I never had that problem before when I was playing the campaign. And I just couldn't S rank it, so I was just
Are
like,
we
fuck
talking
it.
about the fucking vehicle section?
Yes.
Because that
The water
section is
vehicle.
completely. That section is completely random and it's bullshit.
Well, it consistently fell on my head, so I just quit on that. But otherwise, I almost S ranked everything. Let's continue.
You can also find side missions like the hot dog missions, which allow you to complete levels again with a special challenge for more XP. Or maybe you just want to play the other acts, because this game has a lot more levels if you just explored the hub worlds. They even have extra sun and moon medals for these levels. If you play through this game for the first time, I recommend you check out the side missions. They're pretty cool, and it can save you a lot of trouble with these medals. You can also check out the WEREHOG
I do like
side
seeing
missions
the
as well while you're
WEREHOG
at
movement,
it.
though.
Not bad.
That's kind of
In
neat.
this gameplay, the levels are walking textbook examples on how to make a masterpiece. First off, the scenery is beautiful to look at. The amount of detail that was put in these levels are amazing. The only sad part is that Sonic dashes right past it most of the time. I still really appreciate the developers for taking time to make a fleshed out world, even if it does mean that we run past it at blitzing speeds. I mean, they put more detail in these levels than all the adventure games and future games in the series.
This is a next-gen console, and he's talking about the details that got to be crammed into a game. That's not even fair. This is the expectation. He's talking about basic shit that people expect by now for this entry. What are you talking about?
When has a level ever felt this alive in a Sonic game? Absolutely
Sonic
beautiful,
Generations,
but it's
Sonic
not free
3
of
and Knuckles.
criticism. There are a few annoyances that I have with the gameplay. First,
Even Sonic
this isn't
Mania,
really a surprise.
actually.
Sun Moon medals, they're garbage. You have to stop everything that you're doing.
Okay, that's another thing, my problem with him. He's like, oh, they're garbage. Dude, aren't they optional? Like talking to the fucking natives? Why don't you disregard them? If you're gonna go around looking for them, yeah, they're gonna put you through the ringer to get them. What the fuck do you want? That's really stupid.
But the thing is that game also forces you to fucking look for them. It forces you to fucking stop and search for them. Because the thing is, there's the fucking gate
But you don't
that
have.
requires an amount.
But you don't have to find all of them, and some of them are really easy to find. So I don't care. I played Silver Story only for Amy. The 2 times to let you play as her, only for under 10 minutes for short arguments. It was sucre for my weakened Sonic fans. So, hey guys, Odyssey looks better than Sunshine, so there. Yeah, that's the argument.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I forgot that it was locked by the medals, but if I played the game again, I really wouldn't give a shit. Again, they're not very hard to find for the bare minimum, so he can eat shit on that too.
Just to get these bad boys and play Mario Sonic. Of course, if you just get the Sun Moon medals from the WEREHOG stages and only get the Sun Moon medals that are right in your way in the day stages, you won't have an issue with progressing. It still sucks when you have to stop the boosting gameplay to get them. You know, the gameplay that works because you never stop.
But you
Another
choose
issue that
to
I have,
do
which
it, you
is pretty annoying in this game, is how the controls are mapped.
But and that's
Thankfully,
also
Sega
part of the
got
game.
the mapping correct on Sonic.
No, sorry, that's part of the game, and they want you to find them. And it's just like, oh, you're not supposed to stop. Yes, you are, because that's.
I've mentioned this before, but people kind of treat. This is what I hate about the Sonic fandom, and just how they treat Sonic in general. Oh, Sonic's gotta go fast. He's always gotta go fast. Fuck platforming. No, speed, fast. Can't stop. Nope. Can't fucking wait for something to go down for like a second.
Don't
Can't
stop.
wait for something. No, push the button. Up, forward.
Jesus Christ, you know what else bothers me? He's just like, oh, this does what the adventure games did, but better. Adventure made you stop to look for shit. Did you forget that? I think you forgot that. Nope, they're all real. called them by their real name, fake fans. They're fans,
Well,
but
they're
like,
fans. I
but
wouldn't call them fake fans. It just.
but fans can also be shitty fans, and I think this guy's opinions are like severely misinformed and misdirected, and it bothers the fuck out of me. It really, really does. What I love about Adventure, that there's more proper incentive. I mean, yeah, you could say that too, you know. Plus, it felt good to look around. I'll give the game this criticism. It does not feel good to just stop and walk around and explore shit in this game, which Adventure did better. This game does not really feel good to like move around in and look for shit. Just doesn't do it. Oh, by the way,
It's because the controls don't feel right when Sonic is moving at a snail's pace.
Yeah,
It feels like ass.
but let me see. So far, we're in the day levels, and he hasn't mentioned the horrible drifting. Anybody else think that the drift in this game was just
The drift was terrible. It was better implemented in later games.
Yeah, it was appalling. I never used it. I made do to get S ranks without it. So, let's go. Adventure was about exploration, not to boost to the end for 2 minutes. Yeah, pretty much.
Generations.
How long is the WEREHOG? Let's see. This starts at about 13:20 and ends at 7. So about 5 minutes. WEREHOG section starts at 17:30 and ends at 23:55. It's only a little longer. But hey, that section is slower, just like the WEREHOG stages.
But holy blue spheres, these controls are terrible in Sonic Unleashed. If you played Sonic Generations or Sonic Colors before this game, it's gonna take some time getting used to these controls. The main reason why the controls suck is because they mapped the jump button to X. Now tell me why
This game was a masterpiece!
It's because Sega was correct. Normally you would use the homing attack to get further distance in your jumps, or using it just to kill an enemy. However, eventually in the game, you unlock the air dash, and it's mapped to the same button as the homing attack and the boost. You can see where this is going. What this means is that you can no longer use the homing attack as a way to get more distance in your jumps. Also, if you want to use the homing attack to kill an enemy, you better be hoping that you're locked on, because if you aren't, you're dead. You diddly done blasted yourself off the map.
Masterpiece.
However, once you play 1 or 2 stages,
The best
you pretty
in the
much
series.
get the hang of it.
The
Still
game
doesn't
is
make
good.
it good,
The game is
but it's not
bad.
as big of an issue as other issues. What are those issues, you may be asking? Well, the frame rate is terrible. The game is still playable, and luckily I have a high tolerance for bad frame rates, but it's still not very good. For example, levels like Jungle Joyride will drop to a slideshow. I hate criticizing the game for this because of 2 reasons. 1, it doesn't bother me that much, and 2, it could be easily fixed if Sonic Team just ported the game to current hardware with a better resolution and FPS. They don't have to change a single thing
Really?
about the game.
Does he know
They
that
just
for
have to
sure?
Throw it on new consoles, make the FPS cap
Does he
60,
know?
and fix the resolution.
Does he really
I hope
know how it
sometime
works?
in the future, maybe this year, they could give us a game collection with a bunch of Sonic games that
Yeah,
include
yeah.
Sonic
Porting is
Unleashed.
easy,
And
guys.
that's about it for the modern
Porting
Sonic
is easy.
gameplay. So now, it's
They
time to get to
can
the part of the video
possibly
that you've all
fuck it
been
up
waiting
even
for.
more. It can't possibly be an engine issue.
A lot of people don't like this part of the game. I personally think he's an awesome addition to this game, but there's a lot to cover here. First off, a lot of people don't even like the idea of a werehog. I mean, I kinda have to agree with them. Like, think about it. What even is a werehog? A werewolf hedgehog? The whole concept of a werewolf is structured on the idea that a man transforms into a wolf-like creature. So does this mean that
Mention
Sonic
drift.
also has human traits in him as well when he's a werehog? If you look past the weird science that goes into the
He was like, the controls are so like hard to get used to. They're bad. You know? You know, you're going to tell me about how great the levels are and how good it feels to like run through it, and then you're going to tell me the controls are bad? That does not compute, friend.
werehog, it's not the worst idea. I get it, it's nothing cool like Caliburn, but it's still interesting to say the least. It's almost as if the werehog was something random that the team was interested in exploring. You know, a gimmick. It's one of those things that only Mario's allowed to have. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get into
That's the one point I'll agree with him on.
the gameplay. So for this part of the video, I'm mainly going to be responding to criticisms. It may seem like I'm being negative towards the werehog, but trust me, I do like the game. I just have to respond to these criticisms.
Oh, we
because
know
there's
you
a
like the
lot
game.
For the WEREHOG.
You're making
Some
lots of
well-deserved,
excuses.
some not so well.
Lots of excuses.
One of the main
We know you
criticisms
like it.
of the gameplay is that he slows the game down and he's just too slow for a Sonic game. Some people just like to go fast and not play other characters. If that's the case for you, I can't really convince you otherwise. However, I am going to explain why I like the slower gameplay in a Sonic game. Yes, I understand that Sonic's a platformer built on the idea of speed. However, I do enjoy other platformers, even some in the same franchise as Sonic. For example,
I would like to say this for anybody else listening so that you can think about this yourself, and maybe you can talk about this with any other fucking fans of the game. Sonic is not a platformer based on speed. Sonic is a platformer that you were supposed to be able to get good at, and then when you got good at it, you could go fast. Okay? That is the sort of thing that Sonic is. And you know why? Because when you read about the history of how the fuck it was made and how, I think it was Yuji Naka who was playing Super Mario Brothers 1, and he just wished he could go faster through the level, and he kept trying to beat his own time and shit like that. Speed running a level. So he was just like, yeah, you know, if you get really good at a level, you should be able to just like blast through it if you know where everything is. And that was Sonic. You're not meant to blast through it all the time. That wasn't the original vision. And I fucking really don't like that these people will talk out of their face and just assume it's always supposed to have been that way, which is also why people give the first Sonic game a really bad look for no reason.
And then another AFK, they're all here.
Like to see a
It's
video.
all about speed.
A video where a video at your own leisure. Oh, I'd like you guys to see a video at your own leisure. Oh, okay. What video? And let me see. Based on level design, not speed. Yeah, it's about being aware of your surroundings so you can breeze through all the levels like Sonic himself. Yes, that's what I was saying too. There was a guy who made a great video on the idea for a story and gameplay based on Sonic Adventure 3. Pretty cool. Yeah, you could whisper it to Epic or myself. I'm a mod if you see me on the list. Better not hear shit about the mech and emerald level hunts. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go.
example, I love Amy's gameplay in Sonic Adventure 1. If they made her controls less clunky and more smooth, she would be my favorite character to play as.
She's
right
not
next to Sonic.
clunky!
She is a lot slower, but she gives me the ability to explore the environments around me. This is a lot like the WEREHOG because your focus isn't getting to the end of the stage in the shortest amount of time. Your goal is to do difficult platforming, do some swanky...
Difficult platforming. Are you sure you don't mean irritating, sluggish platforming, which there's a little too much of? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Combos and survive to the end without dying. Since you aren't being rushed to get to the end of the stage, you can explore, and this is very helpful for when you're looking for Sun and Moon medals. I wouldn't change anything about the Sun Moon medals when it comes to WEREHOG. It's not stupid like the daytime stages, and it doesn't break the pace of the game for you to get the medals. In fact, I think it makes the level even better because of the tricky platforming and the cool places that the medals are hidden in. So grab the closest bird in your location, because we are about to play Banjo and Sonic crossover. If you absolutely hate collectathons, do not play this game, because a lot of the magic that this game has with the WEREHOG is collecting things. With that out of the way,
Listen, this game definitely tried to be a Devil May Cry hack and slash type of game. Or Bayonetta. I would say Bayonetta a little more because it's got a bunch of combos. I'm going to tell you that when I saw all the combos that Sonic could do and that they were all quite varied and you could do a lot of like fun, wild, weird stuff, that was cool. I like that they did that. I wish there was more utility because I found myself doing like, you know, basic shit. They were also very easy to execute. Risk and reward didn't matter. There were very few kinds of enemies to deal with, so, you know, it was really fucking basic. And don't worry, chat, it's all good. I get to talk shit about Amy anytime I want, though. Just remember that. But really, Yeah,
trying to get
they
your
had some nice things about the game that I saw that they were trying to do, but you know, they tried to make a lot of shit. It
I heard
sucks.
someone, and I was like, Turk, I'm over here.
There's still quite a few things that we have to address about the WEREHOG. First off, the really long levels. A lot of people do not like the length of these levels. I guess you just have to have a fixed mindset on the game. The WEREHOG levels last from 15 to 20 minutes, but if you're new to the game, it can last you anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. But eventually your skill on the game will improve, and you'll be able to complete levels a lot faster. I always see people complain about the levels being 15 minutes or longer. If I'm having a lot of fun during the 15 minutes, then I don't really see much of a reason for hating the longer levels. If you don't like lengthy levels, I understand, but I do, and I'm going to explain why. Believe it or not, it actually adds another layer of challenge. For example, if you're running through a level, the further you progress decides how much is on the line. If you die at the end of a WEREHOG level, good luck getting an A rank. This means that when you're near the end of the stage, it will begin to make the situation you're in feel much more intense, especially if you're low on health and there are no rings
Oh
around.
my
It really makes the
God.
game a thrilling and nail-biting experience.
No, it doesn't. It makes it fucking tedious. Tedious and monotonous. It's the same issue Heroes has.
By the way, him talking about it being like a collectathon and shit, he really hasn't ever played a hack and slash. That's fine if you haven't, but he must have at least seen it, because Sonic has a fucking devil trigger.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? I know what they're trying to do.
You may be asking, what happens when you defeat all the challenges in your way without dying and juggling all the score that you racked up from beating up enemies, you may ask? You get a fat and juicy S rank with levels of satisfaction that you cannot find anywhere else.
You know, I remember when getting those ranks would unlock things. They don't anymore.
Sonic Unleashed pushes you to your limits and forces you to get better at the game if you want that beautiful S rank. Of course, if you aren't into looking
My
flamboyant
limits.
when you play Sonic Unleashed, you could just push through the game normally and get a B rank on every stage. But don't worry, there'll still be a lot of challenges for you to push through. Another issue is that most jumps are based on if you can grapple onto something. This wouldn't be so bad, but sometimes you just don't lock on. I mean, it feels like you should be locking on, but sometimes you just don't. This is
You not
really
see
bad
how
because
that's a
most of these
problem.
jumps.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that it was tricky platforming. What makes it tricky? The fact that the game doesn't fucking work sometimes, or the fact that that there's actual challenge to it?
Dude.
Because I'm not saying it. I'm not fucking saying it.
It's really fucking stupid, man.
It would make sense, yeah.
Holy shit.
Compared to her, you would say the same.
Could result in you dying if you don't make it. Although, eventually you do come to expect that you need to jump further than you think you should, just to overcompensate for the possibility that you might not lock on.
Oh yeah,
so it's kinda
that
like
must
the
feel
controls
good.
of the daytime stages. It's not gonna be too big of an issue later on in the game, but it still kind of sucks. Oh boy,
What this reads to me as all these things are really fucked up about the controls and they don't feel intuitive, so you have to overcompensate for shit that you would expect the game to do more easily for you, leading to a lot of initial frustration that it's your problem if the game turns you away from that, because it has strict, or at least like not strict, inconsistent. It has inconsistent demands of the player. And learning to compensate for inconsistency is not fun.
And here's the thing. He says, "Oh, it's nail biting. 20 minutes in, and drilling. That if you die once, your S ranks goodbye." Now it's not fun. That's not fun. It's frustrating. It's fucking frustrating, okay?
Very
It's
frustrating.
It's as frustrating as trying to get to the special stages in Sonic Heroes. Do you remember how that went?
Yes.
You have to find the key in the stage. Oh, but not only that, when you picked up the key, guess what? You better not ever get fucking touched throughout that whole stage, or you better start the fucking stage over, because otherwise you lose the goddamn key because you got hit, and it...
Yeah,
It's
it's very dumb, and I was never biting my nails throughout it. I was more like, am I done yet?
no. You know what? What that kind of shit make? You know why it makes it worse? Because now you're taking your fucking time, and the levels are long, so you're taking even longer to fucking complete them because you're too scared to lose all your shit,
And
and you're losing your shit over losing your shit.
mm-hmm. Let's go on. Let's go.
Recurring issue with the WEREHOG is the camera. I have to agree, because there are certain moments in this game where you have to make a blind jump. Would you look at that? The Sonic game having an annoying camera. Like, geez, someone take Sonic Team to Best Buy. They need to find out what a camera is.
What an asshole. What an asshole. When people have issues with a camera in a game, they tear that game apart. I don't know why he's making excuses for this. Also, I don't really have a problem with many blind jumps in Sonic games because if I can't see where I'm going, I typically stop to look.
The final big issue that people have with the gameplay is the combat. I actually like the combat. Of course, it's not God of War quality, but it's not.
I'm glad it's not God of War quality because that's
War.
God of War's combat is only like one step up from the. Nah, that's it's like 3 steps up. There's a lot more to do and shit, but
Completely
fucking
terrible either.
mindless.
At the beginning, it's pretty meh, but eventually evolves into something pretty cool. You can learn new.
I love this. I love this. This is the same kind of argument that people give. You have to spend like 35 hours. You have to spend 12 episodes. You have to be in there for like X amount of time and then it finally gets good. Why? Why? Why do people think this is okay? If this was a thing that you bought and you wanted to try to get your money's worth to find some enjoyment, say that. And if you found enjoyment in doing that, say that. Do not pretend that this is a fucking problem. The reason I played this game to the end was because I bought it.
Wait, what happened?
And then when I got used to it, I figured, why not? I'll get all the entertainment out of it that I can. It's not all bad. And I played it. But I acknowledge its problems, and I don't fucking make excuses for them like this guy does.
New combos to spice up the beat 'em up gameplay. You can even use the combos to get further distance in your jumps. You may not like this about the WEREHOG, but I do. So right now, I should give my real opinion
Oh
on the
no,
WEREHOG.
that enemy
When it
was
comes
so
to the
threatening.
WEREHOG, it's definitely not the ideal gameplay. There are a lot of little annoyances that could be corrected. However, I still think it's better than the previous playable characters. Maybe not better than the mech stages or the Knuckles Emerald Hunt stages, but they're still fun to be had in the WEREHOG. I guess it's mostly just preference. Why do you play Sonic games? For fast platforming may be the most common, but I personally play Sonic games for the characters that they've created.
Yeah, sure, they've done a great job with their characters. I too can't wait to see what happens when Sonic finally learns, you know, the essence of his hogness.
Yes, fast platforming absolutely needs to be in a Sonic game, but I don't mind a little bit of slower paced gameplay in my Sonic games. And since I don't mind the slower paced gameplay in a Sonic game, I've come.
He didn't throw shade at Tails and Knuckles. He was just like, you know, it's not as good as those, but I think it's still good. Meaning that he's trying to say that Tails and Knuckles stages were done better, but he still finds a great amount of enjoyment in this.
I'm pretty sure he threw shade to fucking
which
like
means that
Big
I like
and
this
shit.
game a lot.
Though.
Everybody throws shade at Big. Anybody who does that is fucking weak and should find better criticisms. I'm gonna say it again, just like Ben said. That part of the game was not that bad. It was really short, and if you decide to look around for even 5 minutes, you can make that game. You can cut that shit down to like a fraction.
That's useful.
It's pathetic.
The WEREHOG and the modern Sonic gameplay is pretty fun throughout the game. The levels are very interesting, they have beautiful environments. But we're forgetting about one important level of the game, the one level that everyone despises when they play for the first time. Let's jump into it.
By the way, those transitions between each subject are really funny to me. You know, like he took that shit from like iDubbbz or something.
Oh god.
Whew. Anybody who's ever played through this game knows the pain that players go through when they first play Eggman Land. Eggman Land has been hinted at since the first Sonic Adventure, and now here we are. This is the level that will test your abilities. This game, believe it or not, is pretty challenging in your first playthrough. Yes,
Actually, in the first Sonic Adventure, it wasn't Eggman Land, it was Robotnik Land, the ultimate city where he will rule it all. Bitch.
Sonic Unleashed is my favorite Sonic game, but I certainly wouldn't recommend this to someone who's never played a Sonic game. If you want to recommend a Sonic game to a new player, give them Sonic Generations or Sonic Mania, because Sonic Unleashed will absolutely throw you in the mud.
Wait a minute.
But I thought it was a...
I thought this...
God! I want to bang my head against the wall and die!
Isn't this game for kids? I thought this game was for kids. Do you want children to play this game or not? Let me see. Paladin Knight looks like they might have a stroke. Didn't he say it was perfect? No, he said it was a masterpiece, which is close to perfect. Which is, he's going way, way beyond what this is. Something not being perfect is fine, but something being close to perfect, still a very tall fucking order.
I don't understand. He goes from recommending the game to, oh, I can't recommend this game, to, like, what the fuck? What is...
Hold on. So let's go back to the beginning. It is a game with a story made for little fucking baby-ass kids to not handle anything mature because it's silly and light all the way through. But don't recommend this game because don't recommend this because it'll throw you into the mud. It'll treat you like shit. So, are you saying adults or like teenagers and shit like that, like tweens or some shit? I don't know. You're telling me that anybody that's older than whatever is regarded as a kid should be expected to play and enjoy this if it's going to be that brutal of an experience? Yeah, masterpieces do this. Masterpieces always do this. You know, and I'm going to say this because somebody's probably thinking it, and if this gets watched by anybody else, I think you should upload this to YouTube, by the way. If anybody else is thinking like the Dark Souls shit, and it's like, but that game's really hard and it's kind of bullshit, listen, the shit that needed to work, worked. Okay? Obviously, he went through the gameplay of the previous two fucking sections and told you all about how the controls feel like trash in the fucking day section, and you have to get used to them. And then the fucking WEREHOG stages have trash in them that you have to get used to because you have to overcompensate for bullshit. But this is a masterpiece. What are you fucking talking about? Let's go on.
You can lay on the bench thing.
So now I'm going to take this part of the video to talk about challenges utilized.
What did you miss? Just type it in the chat. Maybe I'll reply.
No, just
First,
start
the daytime.
start that whole section again for Eggman Land. That's what he missed. Just the beginning where we was complaining about how he's like, he wouldn't recommend the game to blah de blah.
Okay, all right. So here. I wouldn't normally do this because we've already taken a very long time, but I will do this for you this time.
Whew. Anybody who's ever played through this game knows the pain that players go through when they first play Eggman Land. Eggman Land has been hinted at since the first Sonic Adventure, and now here we are. This is the level that will test your abilities. This game, believe it or not, is pretty challenging in your first playthrough. Yes, Sonic Unleashed is my favorite Sonic game, but I certainly wouldn't recommend this to someone who's never played a Sonic game. If you want to recommend a Sonic game to a new player, give them Sonic Generations or Sonic Mania, because Sonic Unleashed will absolutely throw you in the mud.
There you go. Sonic Unleashed, everybody. Don't recommend it to a new player.
I can't fucking comprehend. I can't.
Yeah, it is for fetuses and also isn't. A masterpiece doesn't have frustration because the fucking controls are dog shit or because it's glitchy. Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you for stating the obvious.
So now I'm going to take this part of the video to talk about challenges utilized in the game. First, the daytime stages aren't challenging based on whether you'll die or not. Even though, believe me, there is some of that in this game. Challenge mainly falls on whether or not you can get an S rank. It's pretty challenging because you have to be very fast while keeping a significant amount of your rings and killing enough enemies. Just getting hit once could cause you to go from an S rank to a B rank. Rings are very important. Eventually, if you become...
You know, I love how he, like, stresses, like, oh, if anything goes wrong, you lose your highest grade. That's pretty much how video games that grade you end up being.
And let's be real here, fucking, we were talking about Sonic Adventure 2 earlier, and I have to fucking bring it up again because he's making this to be a bigger deal than it really is. Sonic Adventure 2
The shelf party?
forces you not only to learn the fucking entire level, but how to maximize your goddamn points through tricks.
Yes, tricks that you have to... Tricks that you have...
And specific things that only that stage has, like the rocket in Metal Harbor.
Uh-huh. And this game pretty much doesn't have a lot of that. Which, again, it's not bad, and it's not like the levels feel completely samey, but it's not Sonic Adventure 2 and what it demands from the player to learn. It also doesn't feel as flashy as a result either, you know? This guy has officially lowered my opinion on Unleashed. Yes, what enemies to attack and when. Spin dash, jump, super bounce.
Yeah, man.
You know.
In fact, I didn't know till later on that you like if you do, for instance, you do a homing attack chain and you super bounce, you keep the fucking points from the homing attack chain, and you can combine it with whatever next enemy you attack with the homing attack,
and then
it stacks up.
And then you have to be careful because you want to keep forward momentum. So how do you balance it? Ooh, it's interesting. Also, Paladin Knight says playing a Zelda game with only 3 hearts is challenging. Playing a Zelda game where you have to is 100% tedious. And yes, I agree. It's bullshit. Challenging is making do with what you have and being able to proceed. Tedious is not being able to proceed because what you have is not enough to proceed. You go back to do things before you can move on. Yes, that is very well said.
And yes, Barks, here, look, because I learned that later on. But let's say you, in Radical Highway, you have to, like, there's a lot of things you can do in that game. Like, you have to take into consideration little things that you didn't even think were grind rails are often times grind rails that give you trick points. And as Sonic, if you use the super bounce after that, you can keep the points from the grind rail and stack up. Oh, if you homing attack an enemy or go into another grind rail without, landing on the ground. Because the super bounce counts as not landing on the ground yet.
And mind you, he's talking about all these ways to get an A rank in Sonic Adventure 2. I didn't know about any of that stuff. I never used it, so I did it my own way. And I feel satisfied with that. This game doesn't really do that. The challenges it demands can be okay. The reason I say okay is because there is a lot of bullshit to memorize. Otherwise, you die and then you lose time. And I'm not talking about in-game time. I mean your real-life human time where you're just like, oh, man, I'm beginning to regret this. Anyway, let's... Yeah, it does suck that you didn't get the bounce bracelet. Let's go on.
I'm really invested in the gameplay. You'll master every level and become a better player overall at the game. Now with the WEREHOG. You just need to survive to the end of the level while doing cool combos. I would say that the WEREHOG levels are a lot easier to get an S rank in. This is because you can take your time and not mess up. It's easy for you to color within the lines, so to speak. Again, with this gameplay, you'll just get a lot better at it over time. But there's something else to the challenge of this game.
Wait a minute. He said the game would push you to your limits for challenge. But you can take your time with the WEREHOG levels and still get an S rank.
Oh, you mean
That doesn't seem very nail-biting to me. It doesn't seem like I'm going to be stretching my limits. The fuck does he think this is? F-Zero? Jesus Christ, I should give him... He should play that game. And if he doesn't tell me that it's a fucking masterpiece because, oh, it's too unwieldy and it's too fast and it's not fair, that you gotta try really hard to get shit, well, bitch, too bad. Game's a masterpiece. Eat shit. I don't know how to DM, so I'm just gonna drop the link in chat.
The thing with dropping the link in chat, you can't do it unless you're a mod. So I'll contact you quickly through DMs. I'll make that easy for you.
Yeah, that's a contradiction. Where's Phoenix, right? I'm standing in for him. He couldn't make it. He has more important cases than this. I'm busting this. I'm busting this petty case.
It adds replayability. It's a really good reason to replay the game because you know by the end of the game, you can definitely go back and get an S rank on some of the levels. Anyways, you know what? Enough about that. Back to Eggman Land. Finally, once you reach Eggman Land, it's the perfect challenge for you as a player. This level is hard. It's not only hard, it's pulling your hair out material. To me, you cannot say you mastered Sonic Unleashed until you complete all the hot dog quests for Eggman Land. This is
I guess I mastered Sonic Unleashed, and I put enough time into it, and I'm gonna tell you how fucking wrong you are.
This is the perfect last level before you head into the supersonic boss fight. This level is going to break you down, and it will test all the skills that you've built during the playthrough of the game.
It's annoying, but it's not that
Of course, you don't have
hard.
to listen to me. You could still see this level as being a complete dumpster fire.
What is this? IGN. Also, I talk about the definitive Sonic Unleashed experience. Sorry for this absurd transition screen. Excuse me? Oh my god, I feel like this guy hasn't been outside in too long when he made this video.
My god.
Before I sum up the main issues of the game and how I'd like them to be fixed, let's first look at what IGN
But you
thinks of
summed
the
up
game.
plenty.
After all, they
you
are a
plenty of
reliable
issues.
source to know if a game is worth your time or not. Huh? That's interesting. A 4.5. The funniest part about this article is the end of it. It says, Sonic Unleashed made me bipolar. In the daytime, I'm happy. Almost too happy. And at night, I become angry and irritable. Frustrated and impossible to be around. Sonic deserves better. More importantly, gamers deserve better. You hear that? You gamers deserve
Gamers
better
TM.
than this piece of trash.
Gamers
Hell,
TM.
IGN, what do us gamers deserve? Sonic Adventure? Apparently not. That's supposedly worse than Sonic Unleashed. Sonic and the Secret Rings?
What does this have to do with
Yes!
the game?
That's right. You gamers don't deserve this absolute piece of dolphin feces. The gamers deserve Sonic and the Secret Rings. On a real note, I was looking
What does
at
that
this
have to
review
do
with
with anything?
absolute confusion. I thought this was a joke. And then I saw when it was made, and it's actually the original review. This is not a joke, guys. This is serious. According to IGN, Sonic and the
IGN?
Secret Rings is more worth your time than Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Adventure. If you don't believe that IGN is bad in hurting the Sonic brand, there
No, you are. The fans are what hurt it. It's not fucking IGN. It's the people that decide to listen to them. Are you all kinds of completely fucking... Oh god, I can't. I really can't. You see, this is why. Whenever somebody tells me, oh, they like the same thing you do, that wins no points from somebody with me. None. Also, is he using the Dreamcast Sonic model, or is that the... What is that texture?
I think that's the DX model, honestly.
If that's the DX model, then he has terrible taste, and that should be further proof that he doesn't.
If the Dreamcast model is, they say, but it's so shiny.
No, it's.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it being that shiny.
It's the texture of it. Yeah, it's the Dreamcast model. It's just that blue. It was flat. Never mind. Let's go.
There is no hope for you. Just give up. By the way,
That was
I
much
didn't even show the
darker.
current review for Sonic Unleashed because it's an absolute joke. IGN years later thought it was a great idea to give Sonic Unleashed a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10? That seems a lot better than a 4.5 out of 10. Like,
Oh my
dang,
God.
IGN, you made a game go from a terrible waste of time to a pretty decent game that's worth a play. At that point, the damage is already done.
It's just a review. It's a review. So many bad reviews. You know, people don't even like moderate reviews for games if they don't think it's good enough. But you know, shouldn't he be upset that it's only a 7 if this is a fucking masterpiece? I'm confused. DX models, very shiny plastic look. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing, like, I don't know what the fuck this JPEG is or this PNG that he ripped out. It looks weird. DX, off topic, but review scores are stupid. Convince me otherwise. Yeah, they're pretty fucking stupid. I tend not to really listen to them. They're playing games I can't fucking stand that have perfect or near perfect scores.
This sent a message to Sega that we don't like elements from Sonic Unleashed. This is why we haven't gotten game-changing playable characters since 2008. Look at it from Sonic Team's perspective. This game got bashed in reviews and they were told that this game was terrible, which also, according to IGN, is worse than Sonic 06. Being told...
Okay.
I'm making that non-grabbable one second.
It's not the review. It's how the people talk about it. It's the discourse. I will never forget the fact that when Sonic was unveiled in the movie, that the backlash from fans, not reviews, nobody saw the movie. No critics had anything valid to say about a trailer. I don't give a shit. You don't criticize a trailer. It doesn't mean shit to me, other than like you're telling me that the IGN did the damage? No. The people do the damage. The discourse does the damage. How many people really fucking pay attention to IGN? So many people. I guess? I imagine more people listen to Jim Sterling and their fucking... Like, give me a fucking break, man. IGN doesn't mean shit. I shall convince these. There's a valid reason what the reviewer scores even mean. And just the video, just end the video, forehead. Are you convinced?
Hold, that your game is worse than Sonic 06 is not good in the slightest. Of course, they made changes in the future games. In fact, the only thing that they kept from Sonic Unleashed was the boost. So now, I'm going...
It's not Jenny Sterling. It's still Jim Sterling. It's James Stephanie Sterling. They are a non-binary trans femme, so they go by they, and that's really the short of it.
I'm going to give an analysis for what I've said so far, and explain any fixes that I'd make to the game. First, fix the frame rate. It's very simple and can be easily fixed.
Again, it's simple. Ben, tell me how simple it is to fix frame rates in games. Ben, are you here?
I'm back. I had to use the bathroom.
Oh,
this guy's talking for so fucking long, and he's spouting nothing but bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was just like, oh, you know, one of the things you could do is just fix the frame rate. Ben, how easy is it to fix the frame rate in a game whose frame rate is fucked?
That's great.
Isn't it easy?
It's so easy. Very easy. Incredibly easy. Absolutely. All you do is just pass it through a machine and press some buttons and it's all good. You good to go.
Yup. Hey.
Engines don't need to be updated or optimized for specific consoles and specific platforms.
Here.
Bugs don't occur that can also affect frame rate. That's not a thing.
Here, I got a question for you and everybody listening. If it's that easy, how come Gradius still has slowdown on my fucking PC when I emulate it? It's on much greater hardware. There should be no slowdown. Why do I need? Why? Oh, it's because it's emulating the system specs. But why? Why not just fix it, right? Yeah. Ben had the flush his system out of this flush his system of this video. Yeah, I know what you mean. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
This fix could make Jungle Joyride go from a slideshow to something very impressive and beautiful.
Shut
what
the
I
fuck
also
up.
want is the controls from Sonic Generations to replace the controls for this game. I want to be able to play Sonic Generations and then switch to Sonic Unleashed without an issue. Also, I'd like to change how the medals are handled. In the game normally, you need a specific amount of medals to progress. That's not necessarily an issue if the medals were handled a little bit better. Either take them out completely or give us a specific amount of medals by getting a rank in the stage. S ranks would obviously give us the most, and the worse of a rank you have, the less medals you get.
So what you mean is that you want the player to go through a brutal, taxing, like nail-biting experience, and one of your solutions is to make people get really good at the game to be able to proceed at all by playing the same level over and over until you're good enough? Excuse me?
It's an instant party.
Because that's how
That's for
the
the
Wii
daytime
version
stages.
works.
For the nighttime stages, I would keep the medals in the levels, because honestly,
Look at that Dynasty Warriors style fucking fighting. I'm exciting.
it's a part of what makes those levels so special. Also,
Look at him
another
just
minor
slowly
point
walk
that I
toward
didn't
him.
bring up earlier is please take out the music that begins every time you punch someone in this game. There needs to be a new battle theme for every level. I'm tired of the intense jazz music starting every time I start a fight. Please give the
I thought the music was so... You know, if music is that good, you don't really get tired of hearing it. You know that, right? I'm going to say that unironically. When I play Enter the Gungeon, I listen to the same song for like 20, 30 minutes on a loop.
Alright. Is that for you, good?
It's good shit, because I don't care about... Jesus Christ. Has he played the Wii version? Seriously, has he? The game... that game actually does this on both day and night, better or worse. Yeah, I guess he hasn't, but he has an informed opinion, I think. That's an insult to Dynasty Warriors, to be honest. I'm sorry, I don't have a high opinion of Dynasty Warriors. Hard mode will fuck you up. You mean they'll finally start to attack you.
WEREHOG more range to lock onto platforms. It feels really unnatural, and I know you can learn how to get the lock on, but new players shouldn't have to sort through that annoyance. Also, bring the time for the stages down. As much as I like the longer stages, not a lot of other people do. Make the levels 8 to 10 minutes. It's a perfect length for you to get everything that you need done with the WEREHOG. That's all that I'd fix about the game. This is a very subjective review, so I can't really bash the WEREHOG too hard since I love his gameplay. Yes, there are a lot of little annoyances, but the rest of the game is so good, and I recommend you give...
I was right.
I'm going to tell you this. All reviews are subjective. They are. You can take as an objective position as you possibly can, but you can't fully measure everything. So it's just he's making excuses. He's making so many excuses.
Bit try. Now, let's get into the conclusion of the video.
And now you're
a
finally
very
fucking
funny
dead.
image.
You're
The
dead.
really fucking funny image.
Sonic the Hedgehog used to be a character in the gaming industry that everyone showed high amounts of respect to. Sonic was untouchable, and a new game was being hyped up in the franchise. The game was Sonic 06. Back then, the spotlight has always been on Sonic.
What does this have
so
to
when
do
Sonic 06 was released,
with it?
everyone was able to see how far Sonic has fallen. Everyone from then on, and still to this day, sees Sonic as a laughingstock of the gaming industry. The saddest...
Actually, it has less to do with Sonic 06 and more to do with Ego Raptor. I dare anybody to convince me otherwise. Because when the discourse flared up, his fucking name and his videos are what came up most of the time. Not review scores. That guy. So,
thing to come out Sonic 06 wasn't the game. It was the amount of collateral damage that the game has done to the series.
Oh, you mean
Sonic's
bad games do
reputation
that?
has been ruined forever because of a game that should have never existed. You guys may be thinking,
On the shelf.
this video aged very poorly, and it was released early this year.
Oh, one second.
What do you mean, like, the reputation is, like, destroyed? People love Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's people who talk about Sonic all the time. There's people who love the fucking game. You're still playing this fucking monkey-ass game.
Back to shelf party.
It's not dead. Just because Sonic doesn't have his own Sega Wonderworld anymore doesn't mean shit. Come the fuck on. Yeah, people do love Sonic. Sonic is the one that gets to stand next to Mario in games. Sonic. Not fucking Lara Croft. Lara Croft is in her own shit. She doesn't get to stand next to Mario, the most well-known video game character in the fucking actual world. You know, it's not... Kirby doesn't even get no. Like, come on, man.
Thinking that Sonic Team doesn't care about us, or even this blue hedgehog right now. But back then, it was so clear that they actually did. After the fail.
I love that he's like, oh, they didn't care about him. They didn't care about him. He talks about stuff like Sonic 2006 with no context about how there was no way they were going to be able to make a finished product, and that one of the things that they desperately didn't want to do was release nothing for the anniversary. They wanted something. They had a deadline pushed on them by Microsoft. Yuki Nanja left, and the team was divided because they needed to make a game for the fucking Wii under contract. And you're going to tell me they didn't fucking care at that point? Get the fuck out of here.
Failure of Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed came out 2 years later. This game was supposed to be a love letter and apology for what had happened in 2006.
No.
It's impossible to deny the amount of love that was put in this game. Talk about rushed Sonic game. This game was one of the last Sonic games that wasn't rushed. Look at the CGI, the overly detailed levels, and the story, which is one of the last Sonic games.
This video came out years after Sonic Generations. In Sonic Colors.
Again, who is this guy? It's just
he's
some
a-
random dude. But
The name of the channel is Matt Has No Cuts.
To feature a super Sonic
is he
boss
big
fight.
in the Sonic,
However, the collateral
Sonic community or not? We don't
I don't know.
It's just we
He's-
don't. The
Okay,
videos
okay. Look. He's got almost 8,000 subscribers, but this video has almost 90,000 views. So this video made a big impact with people, and a lot of people like it and seem to agree with it. And all those people, I don't want to listen to them.
damage from 06 followed over and destroyed this game. This game is an absolutely amazing game
game
that
was
is now
not dis-
buried under a
The game was not destroyed by Sonic 2006. It was destroyed because they fucking didn't like the night levels. And yes, people gave that too much shit. But it's not because of Sonic 2006. That shit is a straw man. It has nothing to do with Sonic 2006. It has to do with this game. This game specifically has a lot of shit that's fucked up about it. It doesn't have anything to do with that game. This game...
He mentioned some of the shit that's fucked up about it, but he still called it a masterpiece and he recommended, but not recommended.
But not for new fans. Oh, really? So this masterpiece shouldn't be enjoyed by new fans? Get the fuck out of here.
mountain of bad games that will be eventually forgotten. In retrospect, I love the
This game was not forgotten. This game was not forgotten. You know why? Because it got memed too. And it may not be a good memory, but it wasn't forgettable. You know what seems to be forgettable for people? Sonic Colors. I really wish people would stop acting like that game didn't fucking happen after this one. I'll tell everybody here, when I first heard the name Sonic Colors, I was like, oh my god, I think this is going to be a shit show. And I ate my words gladly. I had a lot of fun with that game. I still think it's really good with its flaws. I think it's way better than this. I think it's a very good follow-up, you know? Like Jesus Christ. You never got to play Sonic Colors? I recommend it. Just find a way to play it. You know, don't give Epic your money. Just you know, do your best if anything within reason. Technically, by the time this vid was uploaded, Sonic Colors didn't happen until after Unleashed HD. Fine, but you know, like, oh my god.
this game so much. The atmosphere, setting, and the tone is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a story.
Oh no, I'm just gonna criticize this taste from now on, aren't I?
There's so much to learn and experience from this game. This game will challenge you and push you to your limits so you can become a better player. I love this game. The saddest thing about this game is we'll never see a game like this ever again. That
If you saw a game like this again, you talk about how Sonic hasn't changed in years.
is my opinion about Sonic Unleashed.
That was so goddamn confusing.
I didn't like it at all, and there was a lot of video where I do some unscripted chatter. What you just watched was a remake video for a Sonic Unleashed video I made a while back. It was really bad, I didn't like it at all, and there was a lot of things I left out of it. I didn't get my point across, and to be honest, I was terrible at video essays.
He's still bad at video essays.
So I just made
At least at the recording of this video.
a completely new one for Sonic Forces. And I liked that video so much, and apparently you guys liked that video so much, that I actually made a Sonic Unleashed video with the same format.
Dude, really? Fuck, man.
I genuinely love Sonic Unleashed, and this video came from the heart. However, when I first started making this video, it was really annoying, guys. I gotta be 100% honest with you. I've had to re-record the entire script about 3 times during this.
Oh yeah,
I
why
hope you
was
guys
that?
like the video because I put so much work in this video, and I love this game so much, and I hope you guys love it too.
No, some people need to fall on their faces to learn too, don't forget.
And if you don't, leave a comment telling me why you don't like it.
No engagement for you. This is done. So, thank you all for doing this. I've never done anything like this before, but it was quite fun. I enjoyed doing this. Having discussion with chat about this sort of thing, and with my friend too. Just
And feeling pain altogether.
yeah, and like yeah, he still left a lot of things out. He was like, this is a subjective dude. It's about 30 fucking minutes and shit. It's 30
Did he ever
plus.
mention drifting? Because I didn't hear anything about
He
drifting.
doesn't mention drifting. Did he just get used to the fact that it sucked? Because it seems like he did. I gotta tell you, you know, it's astonishing to me how people can do this sort of thing where they'll blame everything else for the problems that something they like has. I platinumed Sonic Unleashed on PS3. I did that. I enjoyed myself. If I'm not mistaken, it was the first game I ever platinumed, because I was like, this is a Sonic game. There's stuff I like about it. I know I can do it, and I did. It did not push me to my fucking limits, okay? If this guy's been playing these games for ages, he should know better by now. Epic Theater 3000. Yeah, why not? Why not? Maybe we'll take that name. It's as if his opinion, if that's his opinion, that's fine. But if he's going to flat out lie, then why bother? Yeah, it just kind of seems that way, doesn't it? I can handle a lot of opinions. Don't give me contradictory opinions. Don't do that. Do not fucking do that. Okay? If I'm going to tell you something, I'd like to be at least consistent about it and be honest as I possibly can. You know, when people tell me about old Sonic games and their complaints and all that shit, I'm going to keep telling them the same fucking things. I'm not really going to make excuses. And it is going to be based on my experience. But that's the best I can do. Just like it's the best this guy could do. Subjectivity doesn't mean that it's above criticism. And it also doesn't mean that I'm going to let things you say go just because you mark it as subjective. I know it's subjective, but if you're putting it out there for people to interact with and engage with, dude, you know, anybody who knows better, and a lot of people should know better, apparently they don't, should see that this is a very bullshit video, because you can make excuses for things you like. We do this. Just don't fuck with people. Don't do that. Don't tell me it's a masterpiece and then just be like, you know, that's just my opinion. And like, I don't know, man, because you spend 30 minutes explaining to me how much you love it, and and on top of that, okay, you know what? I'm gonna say another thing. Remember, you can make a love letter to something, but if you're going to include other things that you're going to be knocking down and taking shots at, that ain't love. And that has nothing to do with your shitty love letter, okay? You leave the other things out of this. Sonic 2006 didn't make this game bad. Sonic 4 got mentioned for like a second. This game was awful. Next to Secret Rings. Oh my god. You know, holy shit. There's a smidge of objectivity in every opinion for a reason. Like, yeah, you know, you try to be... I'm not even going to say objectivity. Just try to be fair.